Before we start working with the Notes app, we need to adjust a few settings. Open the Settings app on your iPad. Scroll down to Notes and tap it to select the settings. We recommend that you set the default account to iCloud if it's not already set there. This allows you to access a project from all devices that are connected to iCloud. Turn on the On My iPad account to allow saving notes to the device as well as iCloud. We recommend that you change the Sort Notes By option to Title for convenience. Set the New Notes Start With item to Title. That setting will make the first line of every project bold and slightly larger. For ease of updating project notes while you're sewing, change Access Notes from Lock Screen to Resume Last Note Viewed in Notes app. When an iPad is locked with a black screen, tapping the screen with an Apple Pencil will take you immediately to the last project note you worked on. If you have an Apple Pencil that works with your iPad, turn on the Only Draw with Apple Pencil option. This will make it much easier to mark up photos and documents. Once you've changed the settings, return to the home screen on your iPad and open the Notes app. To demonstrate how to use the Notes app to manage your projects, we're going to create a note for a small sample project. We begin a new project note by entering a title. After that, enter a brief description that includes words that you may want to search for later. We start using a keyboard attached to our iPad Pro, but we can also dictate using the built-in microphone. Complete instructions are available on YouTube as a video. This process is not quite perfect, as you can see. You may get better dictation results using an iPhone. Let's use the keyboard to add a link to the instruction video. Let's scan the supply list for the project. Tap the plus sign in the bottom right corner and choose Scan Document. Put the document in a well-lit area with a sharply contrasting background. Hold the iPad so the entire document is visible on the camera screen. When a yellow overlay appears on the document, take the picture. You may have to adjust the edges to match the document. If the sides are tilted due to the camera position, don't worry. The app will straighten them. Depending on which iPad model you have, the camera may not take great scans. If you have an iPhone using the same Apple ID as the iPad, you can open your project on the iPhone and scan with that. The process is the same, but the camera may be easier to hold. The supply list has been scanned, but it's sideways in the note. We can fix that, as well as check off the items that we already have. Tap the supply list on the iPad screen. The Rotate button allows us to make the list vertical. Tap the button in the top right corner to activate the Markup tool. This allows us to check off items as well as make notes on the list. When you finish marking the document, tap the Done button in the top left corner. To exit the document viewer, tap the next Done button in the same corner. Next, we'll make a list of what we need to buy. Tap the screen under the supply list and write a heading. To change this from body text to heading, select the line of heading text. Then tap the AA button at the bottom of the screen and tap Heading. Now let's list the supplies. Tap the checkmark button at the bottom of the screen and list the items needed. When the list is complete, tap the checkmark button again to end it. Photos from the Photos app on your iPad can be easily added to your note. Tap the plus sign at the bottom of the screen and choose Photo Library. Pick the album that contains the photos you want. Next, tap each photo that you want to add. When all are selected, tap Done. The photos will be imported full size. To make them take less space, hold your finger or pencil on a photo until a menu pops up. Choose Small Images. We will add labels to these photos using the markup tools. Tap an image, then the markup tool in the top right corner. Next, tap the plus at the bottom right corner and choose Text. A text box will be dropped into the image. Tap it and choose Edit. You can now enter your own text. To change the text size, font, and color, tap the AA button at the bottom of the screen. Adjust as needed. Then tap the Done button in the top left corner. Now let's enter a table for keeping track of which fabric is used for which piece. Enter a heading for the table. This will create a table with 2 rows and 2 columns. Use the triple dot icon on the top of the table to add or delete columns. The triple dot icon on the side of the table is used to add or delete rows. Embroidery designs can easily be added to your project note. First, we create a heading. This is optional, but it helps to keep things organized. We'll use the split screen option on your iPad to make it easier. Swipe up from the bottom of the screen to expose the dock. Touch and hold the Files icon and drag it to the right side of the screen. When space opens up, drop it by removing your finger. In the Files app, locate the first design you want to include. Tap it to open it. Because iOS does not recognize embroidery files, you will not see an image of the design. That's not a problem. Tap the Share button at the bottom of the screen. Choose the Add to Notes option and choose your project note. Tap Save to complete the operation. Repeat these steps for each design to be used. When the project is finished, you'll want to add a picture of it to the project note. Once again, tap the plus sign in the bottom right corner and choose Tap Photo or Video or Photo Library. Since we previously chose to show small images, the imported photo will also be small. You'll probably want it at the top of the note. Simply hold your finger or pencil on top of the photo until it seems to lift up. You can then drag it to the top of the note. Move it to the top of the note. The picture will be placed directly in front of the cursor. Use the cursor position as a guide to avoid splitting any text. As long as you've saved a project note in iCloud, you can easily share it with someone else. Tap the Silhouette button in the top right corner to open the Share tool. Enter the email address of the person you want to share it with. You can share the project by email, messages, or just copy a link that can be pasted. The person you share the project with can make changes, which will be reflected on your device as well. To stop sharing, tap the button again and choose Stop Sharing. You can also share a project note without allowing any edits. Tap the Action button in the top right corner. If you choose any of the options in the top row or Print in the bottom row, a copy of the project will be sent or printed with all images full size. This is a good way to share a project when you don't want the recipient to modify it. The Action button offers other useful options for this note. These are found on the bottom row of icons. Find in Note allows you to search for text within the project note. If the note is just text, you can lock it with the Lock Note tool. You must have specified a password in Settings to use this feature. A locked note cannot be viewed without Face ID, Touch ID, or entering the password. The Lines and Grids tool allows you to create guidelines for manually entering text or drawing. Create PDF will make a PDF from the project note. You can mark up the PDF as well as send or save it. As expected, Print allows you to print the note on a Wi-Fi printer. Copy will place the entire note on the clipboard for pasting into other notes or documents. Save Images will put a copy of each image in the note into your Photos app. The last option, Save to Files, allows you to save each component of a project note in a separate file. To do this, you first need to create a folder to put the pieces in. Open the Files app. Select the iCloud Drive and create a new folder. Double-tap the Home button to return to the Notes app. Tap the Action button and choose the Save to Files option. Select the folder you just created and tap the Add button. As you can see, all of the parts of the note have been saved. You can then use those parts in other projects if you want to. Now that you've seen what the Notes app can do to help you manage your sewing projects, we suggest that you use the Books app to download the full manual for your version of iOS. You'll find a full chapter explaining every feature of Notes.